Coleco's Pac-Man from 1981. I remember when Pac-Man the arcade game first came out. I was so addicted to that game. I still love the game to this day. It's a really fun game. It's really cool. But I was really stoked when Coleco put out a Pac-Man portable. And I got one of these for Christmas. I think it was back in 82 or so, maybe 83. I can't remember exactly what year it was. But I got one for Christmas. It was the first one of these Coleco lines I got with Galaxian. And this game was actually a lot of fun for me back then. As a matter of fact, my parents unfortunately learned how annoying this game can become in a short amount of time with its sound effects. To the point that within about 2 or 3 days of me getting this for Christmas, my dad had had enough. He took it from me, took it apart, and put a switch to turn the speaker off. He goes, "You play that game around me, you flip that switch. Turn off that sound. It's driving me crazy." And what's really funny is I'll see some Pac-Mans running around that people have modified. I've seen one where they put a dial on the side to control the volume. I've seen others with switches on them to turn off the sound effects. It can get to you after a while, but I was a kid. I didn't care. I thought it was actually cool. The box is absolutely wonderful. Coleco did a really great job in presenting their product, and this is no exception. Shows a nice picture of the unit right there. You see the arcade game kind of shadowed in the background, which is really nice. It has the Pac-Man logo and the graphics, because it was officially licensed by Midway. Runs on 4C batteries. Advertised on TV. I used to love those commercials on TV for the Coleco Minicade. That guy shrinks down the arcade game down to the Minicade size. Pretty cool. Of course, on the side of the box, it gives some options you have. We have a head-to-head 2-player Pac-Man game, which is cool, and an eat and run game, which is kind of fun. Really cool. I'll show that here in a minute. Arcade-style joystick, multicolor display, records the best score. It doesn't retain it, though. And 2 skill levels. Now, I like these little cartoons on the back. Shows the head-to-head Pac-Man, where you got 2 Pac-Man running around the maze, which is a lot of fun to do, actually. I kind of like that feature in this. Then we had the Eat and Run game down here, which is a really cool variation of Pac-Man. We had to go out and grab a power pellet and try to get back to the ghost house in the middle to get the score. That is a really fun game. I really like that on here. So, inside the box, we have our instruction manual. So we'll reach inside, grab the instruction manual. Oh, this is not my original box. This is one I found at Big Fun Columbus in Columbus, Ohio. I went ahead and picked it up because my Pac-Man didn't have a box to go with it, because I didn't keep any of my boxes like a dummy back then. So at least I have a box for my very first Coleco Minicade I ever got. I'd like to find one for Galaxian too, but eventually I will. But anyway, here's the manual. Not too bad looking of a manual. It's black and white. Goes through all the game controls, all that good stuff. It's got quite a few pages on it. How to put the batteries in, everything on the screen where it's at. You actually put it in demonstration mode, which is kind of nice. Doesn't make any sound in demonstration mode, I don't think. I can't remember. The display, cool. That's cool. The object of the game, yeah, eat all the dots. Pretty awesome. There's the Eat and Run, how to play that, which is actually a really fun game. I can't say enough about that. It's really cool. Got our scoring chart, our special information, care of your game, and the limited warranty. Pretty cool. So now let's take a look at the game unit itself. Well, here we go. Here's my original unit I got back in Christmas of 82, 83, somewhere around in there. I love this thing. I was so thrilled when I opened this thing up on Christmas morning. Of course, my parents weren't too thrilled, within like 2 hours of me getting this, because of the siren sound this thing makes. Kind of got into my parents' nerves. My dad actually had to take this away from me. He modified it to turn the sound off. Oh, that's so funny. But anyway, it's worn fairly well. You know, this thing is nearly, what, 30-some years old or so? Maybe 40 years old or so? Somewhere around in there. Pretty old little system here. Now, the graphics, the details, the graphic decals, they are kind of showing their age. You can see a lot of the glue coming through, kind of like the Activision cartridges on the 2600. You get that Acti-Plaque. I guess they're going to call this Coleco Pac or something like that. But it's got some great decals on it. In fact, from the arcade game, that's pretty awesome. A little decal on the top. Neat little hood. It kind of looks like the arcade game. Pretty awesome. Of course, here's our control panel here, which has our on and off switch here in the middle. Skill 1 to the left, skill 2 to the right. We have our second player joystick for the head-to-head Pac-Man game. And then our joystick over here on the left selects what game we're going to play. When we turn the unit on, you'll see a red maze, and you push down for demo, or to the left for head-to-head Pac-Man, up for eat and run, or to the right to play regular Pac-Man. So it's got like 4 different functions to the game, which is really cool. And the eat and run game is actually a lot of fun. I really like that they made that on here. It's pretty awesome. Of course, on the bottom we have our battery compartment. Has another set of instructions there. If you look on the very back, you'll see this little notch right here. That's so if you use the Coleco Perma adapters that they had, you can feed that cord right out that hole right there so you can seal up the battery compartment. Pretty cool that Coleco did that. Those Coleco battery packs are actually kind of neat. I had a set here. I don't know what I did with them though. But it's still pretty cool. Of course, inside, you can see our 4C batteries. There's our 4C batteries right there. If you look really close, you can see the on-off switch my dad put in here to turn the sound on and off. He wanted to put it someplace where you wouldn't be able to see it because he knew it would ruin the looks of the machine even back then. So I thought it was kind of neat that he actually put it down inside that little groove that was already there. Worked out really well. So yeah, I absolutely love this thing. This is probably my next favorite one next to my Galaxian and my Miss Pac-Man. Miss Pac-Man's really good too. So now let's take a look at the gameplay of this little bad boy. Alright, let's take a look at the games on here and the gameplay. Now before we get started, I'm going to quote a favorite YouTuber of mine, Mr. Steve Benway. This is not a review, a preview, or anything like that. It's just me playing the game badly, so you can see what it looks like. I love Steve Benway, he's awesome. Anyway, when you first turn the unit on, it just shows a red screen, and it's waiting for you to select what game you want to play. If I were to push down on the joystick on the left-hand side, that activates demo mode. And the game will play by itself. And that siren sound, I could see why my dad would go nuts when I would play this game in the car driving somewhere or sitting in the front room playing it. Only time the siren stops is when you eat a ghost pellet. Gave my dad a little bit of a reprieve, not much. So the next game we'll look at is the head-to-head Pac-Man. So we move the left joystick to the left. That selects the 2-player simultaneous mode, which is a lot of fun to play with 2 people at once. We'll try to control both Pac guys. Oops. That's pretty awesome. And of course, the top of the screen, you see how many Pac-Man you have left up there, which is pretty cool, and it shows which guy is leading in the score. See, the arrow is pointing to the left, which means the left Pac-Man is leading. Now that the right-hand Pac-Man is leading, you see the arrow pointed to the right to give you indication which Pac-Man guy is in the lead. That's kind of cool. Next one. Next game is the Eat and Run. So we push up on the left joystick, and we can play Eat and Run. So we go out and try to grab as many dots as we can, and then come back to the center, to our little ghost house place. Okay, I got one. See, I won't get a point until I come back to the center. And I died. Dang it. Try it again. I like to guard those dots. Oh, run, little Pac. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, there we go. Come back. We got 100 points for that dot. Pretty cool game. And of course, the last game is Pac-Man itself. So we push the joystick, the left joystick, to the right. And now we're playing a regular Pac-Man. Go, little Pac-Man, go. Eat those dots. Bloop, 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 bloop. Oh, yeah. Get rid of the ghost, get rid of the ghost. Yes, 2 ghosts. Run, little Pac, run. Oh, no, no, no. Come here, you. Chomp. Oh, that siren's getting kind of tedious. Oh, and I died. Oh, no. Well, at least complete one screen, man. It's my last pack guy. Go, get that last dot, get the last dot. Awesome. Oop, and I died. I like how the game over pops up at the top of the screen. And it shows the best score, 1,460. Pretty cool. So did any of you have this Coleco Pac-Man back in the day? If you did, let me know what your thoughts were on it and what kind of memories you share. Share some memories of the game as well. Or did you pick this up recently for your collection? And what do you think of it? Anyway, thanks for watching. Let's play another game of Pac-Man. Whoa.
Official Midway Pac-Man for 1 or 2 players. The arcade game you can take home with you from Coleco.